In the famous 1513 book written by Machiavelli called The Prince, there's a line that reads, "There's nothing more difficult to plan, more doubtful of success, nor more dangerous to manage than the creation of a new order of things." It can be argued that helping an organization adopt an innovation is a new order of things. A diffusion of an innovation is when a new way of doing something eventually becomes adopted by a social group. So now let's dig a little bit deeper into that definition of diffusion. Let's look at what diffusion really means. The term diffusion can be defined as the process in which an innovation is communicated through certain channels over time among members of a social system. That's the definition created by a gentleman named Everett M. Rogers, who wrote a book called Diffusion of Innovations. The book is a seminal publication in the study of diffusion theory. So let's dig actually even a little bit more deeply into the definition. So first of all, a diffusion is a certain kind of communication. It's, yes, the communicating of a new idea, but it's more than that. It's an attempt to have members of the social system adopt that actual idea and eventually adapt that idea as their own. Ultimately, the person who introduces the innovation is looking for a behavior change at the micro level and a social change within the organization at a macro level. We want individual employees to change behavior and eventually the entire organization to change behavior. For example, many organizations in the last decade have transferred their computer systems from internally managed to cloud-based systems. Some people in those systems eagerly moved from their old system to the cloud-based system. But some still save their items on their own computer, hard drives, and jump drives. Individuals have to change before organizations can change. Communication plays a huge role in the diffusion of innovation. The communication process related to diffusion involves the members of the social system creating and sharing information with one another. It's the process of people talking, chatting, and discussing whatever this new thing happens to be. And we've all seen and been part of this process. For example, whether it's a new type of a mobile phone or smartphone or a new software product being rolled out at work, we ask a lot of questions like, where did you get that? Or we ask, where did that idea come from? Or you might ask, how do you know about that? Or do you like it? Is it difficult to use? Or questions like, is this new way of doing things really going to make my life easier? What do you like about it? When new ideas or objects are introduced into our daily lives, either at work or home, we're naturally curious and we look to others who are using those items or trying to implement those ideas for guidance on how we should act and react to the innovation. But we don't look to everyone. We look to the people we trust, people whose opinion we value, and people with whom we can identify. So to understand the adoption of an innovation or the diffusion of an innovation, we need to make sure we understand the four main elements of a diffusion of an innovation. These elements are the innovation itself, like what's being introduced, the actual communication process by which people become aware of the innovation, the social channels through which the innovation news travels and who we talk to and how we find out if it's good or not, and finally, who is in the social system. Knowing these four elements and how they relate to each other is an excellent foundation for understanding innovation, for helping us learning leaders figure out how to help people adopt an innovation. So in the next sections of this workshop, we'll talk just about that. That's what we'll talk about. We'll talk about what makes an innovation attractive to a certain group of people.